So when you were painting a character like Mirza, so what gets you to that level of authenticity? Like every micro details of that character is right there, right in front. So how do you get to that level of authenticity? What gets you to that level of understanding? And how do you also communicate to an actor like Big B, Amitabh Bachchan, to understand that character?
Mirza, I think for Gulabo Sitabo was one of the most, really one of the most fascinating characters. And I think he played out also so beautifully. I think it's one of his iconic performances, where I don't think we ever saw Amitabh Bachchan. We only saw Mirza.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the fascinating part of his performance in this film. That I never could, his Amitabh Bachchanish thing shouted out.
Mm-hmm.
It was always Mirza. So, of course, these characters again we have seen. I've seen these characters. So you must understand that Mirza is a kind of person who spent his entire life with just one thought of his greed for this mansion.
Mm-hmm.
So greed for this mansion is everything. He married this woman. It's so hilarious. In some point,
mm-hmm.
And also I call this film the world of Gulabo Sitabo because there is no story as such. It's the world that I take people and and take them around. So I think if you go to a small town, I've grown up in Delhi, and the old part of Delhi, if you go, or old part of Lucknow, if you go, you will find a character like Mirza. You will see them loiter around, doing nothing, just faffing around, trying to do things, commenting on few things, but they have a very tunnel vision, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I created Mirza with a complete tunnel vision that he doesn't bother anything, absolutely nothing. He just want to be known as the owner of this mansion, because all his life he's been known as a person who's always been under Begum.
Mm-hmm.
And Begum is actually the one who lives with a life, and he's the one who's been used. And so his small greeds of selling coins and earning some money.
Mm-hmm.
And also this film was also about a lot of, it spoke about class, the class system. It spoke about equality and inequalities, in that we go through in our society. In a small level where, when your greed takes over and everybody is somewhere looking for a little bit of pie from that greed. So
Mm-hmm.
I think, so what happens, So I think, so that was the poetic justice of the end of the film also. And so I think Mirza's character was woven with these small nuances, where his characterization was, he will not be loud, but inside him there is a huge turmoil going on all the time.
Mm.
So I think that came out quite well.
And even as you talked about the nuances, the coins, the light bulbs, those micro actions showed, like, it's like right now, yes, I laughed, but at that point, you really got into the character. Nothing was small enough for him not to go for. That was like the magnitude, as you showed, was incredible. So
yes, I think the entire world was abusing him, but I don't think he was hearing them.
mm-hmm.
He was so used to it. Yeah, even the bulb, or even everything what you say it was micro detailed, in terms of.
Yeah, even when he started digging. So yeah. It's all, I think, was
yes.
like